three artists who changed music history. In the early 1960s, a young man living with his mom in the slums of Kingston, Jamaica, built a guitar out of bamboo and began creating music with a friend. Influenced by the rhythm and blues music crackling through his radio and combined with his own quirky and energetic creations, this young man unknowingly began a musical movement that would span generations and demolish political and racial barriers by promoting love, tolerance, and speaking out against injustice. This man's name? Bob Marley. Bob Marley is just one example of how musicians have not only topped the charts, but have shaped many important aspects of our culture. Over the next few minutes, we'll take a trip back in time and learn about three other musicians or bands that have reshaped the music industry through innovation, creativity, and social awareness. Stevie Wonder. Even though Stevie Wonder has the distinction of being on a very short list of musicians who are blind, don't let that keep you from recognizing that his contributions to the world of music are about much more than a so-called handicap. Dubbed the one-man band by the industry, Stevie Wonder released Fingertips in 1963 and became the youngest artist to ever have a Billboard Top 100 hit at the age of 13, according to biography.com. But it was only the beginning. Most notably, Wonder revolutionized music by being one of the first, if not the first, to successfully implement a synthesizer into his songs. His decades-long career is still going, and he set the bar very, very high for everyone else by having the greatest creative run in the history of music, by releasing an unprecedented 5 albums in 5 years, 3 of which have won Grammys. Jimi Hendrix. Really? How didn't Jimi Hendrix change the music industry? His otherworldly creativity and willingness to push musical boundaries captivated both audiences and his contemporaries. When rock legend Eric Clapton heard Hendrix play for the first time, it's rumored he mumbled, "You never told me he was so good." Hendrix's legacy can be summed up in one word: expression. And while George Bucamp was the first guitarist to use an amplifier in the 1930s, Hendrix was the first to bring riffs, feedbacks, and other modifications to life with his sometimes psychedelic, sometimes mellow tunes. According to Radiomusic.com, before Nirvana and The Who smashed their guitars on stage, Jimi did it first. He played guitar left-handed and upside down. His music, influence on rock, and the emotions he inspired in his bands quite literally flipped rock and roll on its head. David Bowie. And now we finally get to talk about David Bowie. On biography.com, we learn that he was actually born David Robert Jones in England in January 1947. But it wouldn't be long before his name, persona, and expression would match the unique young Brit with different colored eyes. Bowie is wildly and unanimously renowned as the most influential musician of all time. Why? Because he didn't just follow the rules. With each new album, he changed personas, created characters, and was referred to in the LA Times article as the alien presence in pop music. His open-minded approach to gender roles, fashion, and even sexuality were absolutely before their time in the industry and even in society. Bowie's persona, Ziggy Stardust, was an androgynous alter ego that allowed him to push boundaries of music and theater. Through his best-selling albums and in roles in movies like Labyrinth, Bowie made geeky sci-fi culture cool for the first time. Perhaps most significantly was the fact that even in death, Bowie connected with his audience through his music by writing his own eulogy. David Bowie, Stevie Wonder, and Jimi Hendrix are 3 artists who changed the music industry for the better through their innovation, creativity, and skill. No one can top them, unless you know how to play a guitar upside down with your eyes closed and wearing thigh-high boots. Thank you so much.